Beautiful, emotional, and mysterious. These are 3 words that can be used to describe Journey, a PSN game that isn't very easy for me to review. Not because it's terrible, but because it's the type of game that you can only understand once you've played it. Having said that, I will try my very best to make you want to play it. Journey starts out in the middle of a desert, where the player is given no backstory or any information on what you can do in the game. The only thing you can do is head for the mountain that the camera is focused on. As you explore the desert, you'll find ruins and eventually hints on how to interact with the game's mysterious universe. It's this kind of setup that I really dig in a game. Everything is a mystery to you, and only through exploration and experimentation will you figure out how to progress. But you're probably asking, what type of game is Journey? Is it an RPG, a shooter, or an action game? I say it's a platformer with a mixture of puzzle and stealth elements. As I mentioned earlier in the review, the overarching goal is to reach that mountain, but it wouldn't be much of a challenge if there weren't some obstacles to slow you down. The platforming parts of this game are pretty self-explanatory, requiring the player to climb and jump their way to higher ledges. There's even a fun little gliding mechanic that's governed by the length of your scarf and can be increased by finding hidden collectibles. But watch out for those hostile enemies, because if they see you, it's time to say goodbye to a piece of your scarf. My prize, where? Outside of gliding and jumping, the only actions you can do in this game is interact with switches and communicate with other living creatures. This allows you to build a bridge, open doors, and hitch a ride on a flying creature. If you don't own an HD TV, then please don't buy this game, because only in 1080p can you appreciate the game's incredible visuals. The lighting, the textures, and the overall design of the game is simply stunning. Then there's the soundtrack, which is equally amazing and manages to play with your emotions during those sad sequences. Of course, the biggest complaint about Journey is that you can beat the game in less than 2 hours. Given the price tag, I will agree that it should have been longer, but this is the type of game that is meant to be played in one sitting, and if the game was any longer, the illusion of what it's trying to achieve would have been broken. Having said that, Journey demands multiple playthroughs, mainly because of the interesting co-op mode where you can't communicate with your partners and only can see their usernames until you reach the credits. When I played Flower back in 2009, I thought no PSN game would ever match that game's level of beauty and refinement. But leave it to the same studio to top their previous work with Journey, which is a magical game that no PlayStation 3 owner should miss. If you have a friend who claims that games can never be art, then fire up the PS3, make them play Journey, and watch as their opinion slowly changes. Anyway, I'm giving Journey a rating of 9 out of 10.